He then studies the language.
Oh boy, it's bitter. Good morning, whoever's listening. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Hey, Mauchio, what's going on, brother? You and the wife, Mariah Israel. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Just to let you guys know, there's a delay in the text. It's probably, I would say, probably a 20-second delay, maybe 15, 20-second delay from the time you type it and send it and press the send button to the time I receive it. It's probably about a 15, 20-second delay. So that's something that you always have to factor in. I noticed that when I was on, I'm on other people's live stream, and I noticed that they are seeing let alone responding to it, but they don't even see it until like 10 to 20 seconds, maybe even 20 seconds after you type it. So I don't know what that's predicated on, but or how it's set up, but that's just the case. That's the way it is. I had a lot of things on my mind this morning. Had a lot of things on my mind this morning. Oh, I know what I know something that I was thinking about. It was something I was thinking about this morning. And it's basically, it basically surrounds the premise of the glory of the Messiah, the popular conception of the glory of the Messiah when he was on earth. Hold on a second. So, I don't know what I got up for, but it left me. because the popular conception of the glory of the Messiah was not met by Jesus of Nazareth, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find this. Boy, it's a long time since I dealt with this. I know what I got up to you. Just hold on. Just bear with me momentarily. What this is, I'm gonna tell you. Because the popular conception of the Lord Messiah was not met by Jesus of Nazareth. Okay, I think that'll do us now. Let's see. Among snares, I think. Let me see. Let's see here. Let me see. 7. Let's see. Hey, everybody. Sean 24 Price. You know, Sean 24 Price, I gotta say, I gotta say, I was blown away, brother. I was blown away, quite blown away by your show of love and appreciation. I gotta say, I got to say, I was blown away. And yeah, that was pretty heavy. Sean 24 Price wrote a poem to me the other day, and it was quite amazing. Quite amazing. I just want to recognize that publicly. I was like stunned. I was really like stunned, really. And I mean, even now, I'm like, wow. It's like, that's never happened for me before. I don't think nobody has ever written a poem to me. It was beautiful. Beautiful. You know, and you know what? It really encouraged me. It really encouraged me. It really, I'm telling you. I want to tell you something. When I get discouraged, I want to tell you what I do. I do a whole lot of stuff. I start doing a whole lot of stuff. I get really, really, really busy. Really busy. When I get discouraged, I get real busy. I just get real busy, and sometimes to a fault, because nothing to get done. Because nothing to get done. Is that right? Well, I want to tell you that my soul was watered. I got to tell you that. Got to say that. I got to tell you that. Okay. Let's see here. I'll be with you in a second, y'all. My apologies. You know, it's nothing like when people show appreciation and they put value on the things that you do. You just don't know how far that goes. I mean, not enough can be said that should be said about these acts of love and appreciation. It just, please. And acts of disinterested benevolence on the books of life, they will never be erased. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna try to dig deep for this. This is something I haven't read in probably about 10 years. And I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm sitting here just trying to figure this thing out. Where is it at, first of all? Because I don't have a clue. Something's stirring in my heart, my head right now. I think I might be getting close. Let me see here. I think I'm getting, it's coming back to me. Oh boy, this is hard. Okay. I just want to give a little nugget this morning. Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, brother Sean. Beautiful. Okay, let's begin. So in John chapter 7, verse 16, 17, Yahushua says, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. He that willeth to do his will know of the doctrine, whether it be of Yahuwah or whether I speak of myself. The Pharisees and Sadducees claim they purported themselves as having an idea of what the Mashiach was going to do, what his character was, yada, yada, yada. They're always the experts on everything. But we discussed last night very clearly that they were of their father, the devil. Yahushua said in John 8:43, 44, he said, hey, if you were of Yahuwah, you would love me because I proceeded and came forth from him. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You like keeping the commandments, statutes, and laws, and you won't listen to anything that I say. Why can't you not understand my speech? Because my word hath no part in you? Okay. Now, these are the people, y'all, that actually collect tithe and offerings from. I'm going to tell you who they collected from. They collected tithes and offerings from our great-grandparents, our grandparents, our parents, and us. These are the people. And yeah, and they look like us. Yeah. They are actually our taskmasters that the Bible speaks of in Exodus, the parallel of the taskmasters that we have reigning over us. We have various categories of descending orders of taskmasters. No, hey, parents, I'm just being real. Grandparents, yeah, because they was taught by the same pastors that's teaching you today. They're being taught by the same descendants of pastors who teaching you today. Yeah. Great grandparents, all the way back to slave masters and Nat Turner before he had his interaction with the Most High to rebel against them. That's why we haven't seen a Nat Turner yet. And I don't think the fate of Nat Turner is as dire as many would see, because you die. What is death when you're a slave? What is death when you are a slave? What is death when you're a slave? It's freedom. Death as a slave is a door of freedom. Not only for the deceased, not only for the rebel, but also for those that you're going to leave behind and the future posterity. They're going to look back at your example and be like, whoa, whoa. No, I'm not calling for a bloodbath, but there's going to be one. It's inevitable. I mean, when you go back to First Kings, maybe it's Second Kings. When you go back to Second Kings, somewhere around chapters, I want to say 8, 9, I'm guessing. But you start looking at Benaniah. When you found out King Saul was sending Benaniah out, it was like, okay, it's like, get your house in order. It's like Benaniah's coming. Yeah, Benaniah is on the way. And we know what happens when Benaniah is knocking on your door. Yeah, it's over. It's a wrap, baby. It don't matter where you're hiding. Benaniah is going to find you. Yeah, look up Benaniah. we read about Benaniah, but don't think that Benaniah didn't have no crew with him. No, just don't think that, y'all. Don't. Yeah, Benaniah. Benaniah was a warrior, a soldier. Okay. He was an executioner of Israel. Yeah, I know we don't talk about these kind of things in children's school, and the little cradle roll with the little baby, you know, with the little, you know, nobody has a picture. Nobody have one of them little felt pictures of Benaniah walking around. No, nobody wants to talk about him. No, we don't want to talk about Benaniah. Hey, Living Kodesh, we don't want to talk about Benaniah. No. We don't want to talk about him. See, Benaniah was the type of individual that if he came knocking on your door, you already, even if you didn't do anything wrong, it's not a good look when Benaniah is, when you go to the door and you hear this. Who is it? Benaniah. It's like, oh, who? Benaniah. It's like, oh Lord. You're wondering if you should slit your throat. Right? You know there's no escape. Yeah, Benaniah was no joke. Benaniah was no joke. Now, the only reason why I don't want to get deep into Benaniah, but I want to use him as an example. See, Benaniah was a man of valor, fearlessness. I admire that. Now, actually, I have ran into guys who appear to have a level of fearlessness, and it's kind of scary. You know why? Because I don't have that spirit. But I marvel at guys that have that spirit. They ready for the altar, which is sacrifice, or they're ready to pull the plow. The altar, whatever you want me to do. You want me to pull the plow, or you want me to get on the altar? Sacrifice or plow, whatever. That's a good spirit to have. That's a powerful spirit. You ought to be intimidated. Because some things about to get done. You about to put in that work. Either the work is going to be on the plow, or it's going to be as a result of sacrifice. The work is going to get done. All right. So we need some men with that Benaniah spirit. We do. We need anybody, women too. I believe a woman in her capacity could have the Benaniah spirit. In a capacity, not in the capacity of a man, but in the capacity of a woman. That she's just not backing down. Is she ready for the sacrifice, or is she ready for the plow? Whatever. So the perception and appreciation of the truth depends less upon the heart than upon the mind. And let me say that again. The perception, in other words, the way we process truth, the way we perceive it, the way we perceive truth, and the appreciation of it, it's not really hinging on more of the mind than on the heart. That's why I believe that there are 6 senses. I'm not going to go into that, but he did tell Nicodemus in John 3. He said the spirit, the ruach, it goeth where it listed. It goes where it wants to go, however it wants to. And he said you can't tell if the spirit is coming or going. So is everyone that is led of the spirit. So I'm talking about the appreciation and acceptance of truth, not facts, y'all, not facts. No, not just static facts, figures, and no. I'm talking about something. I'm talking about, when I talk about truth, I'm talking about something that actually changes your heart. It categorizes the thoughts and information of the mind. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not going to be long. It depends less upon the heart than upon the mind. Truth must be received into the soul. And after it is received into the soul, it claims the homage of the will. And when truth claims the homage of the will, it sanctifies the will, purifies the will. I hope this is clear. Because let me put it to you this way. If truth is submitted to reason alone and it bypasses the soul or the heart, it's no way for pride to be eradicated from the person. No way, no way, no way, no way. Because pride is not here. Pride is here. Pride is a contamination of the heart. So I don't care how much a breakdown you give a person. If they're not ready to give up pride, I don't care how well and eloquent they understand it. They can understand it as eloquently and precisely as I'm explaining to you, but still be harboring, nourishing, fertilizing pride in the heart. This is why so many people don't know that inherently they're wicked. They don't know that inherently they're greedy, selfish. They don't know because they're thinking about it in a cerebral context. This is why you could tell them something and it'll go right over their head and they don't even be affected. Their face will be looking as plain as a plate. They'll give you that wax museum figure face. And when you get that face, guess what? It's like, okay, I mean, your work is done. It's nothing else you can do. It's nothing you can do. You could reiterate, but trying to get up, it's just not, it's not time. It's not time. It's not time. They're gonna fight, they're gonna cavil, they're gonna run into their feelings, emotions, they're gonna run into character flaws that you have. They're gonna run into all kinds of hiding places. Why? Because you struck at the root of the problem. You struck at the root of the problem. They never gonna listen to you. But for the most part, they never gonna listen to you. Never. You won't even see an effort being made. Even if you catch them in the act of, and you come to them like a little baby that's been freshly changed with a new diaper on, smelling like baby powder, they never going to receive it. I don't care how much you cool. They never going to do it. You know why? Because something didn't happen here. Oh, they hear what you're saying, but they just like, their face will tell, their eyes will tell you everything. It's like, I'm not receiving that. I'm not receiving. They might smile it off, but the eyes don't lie. But see, truth has to be received through the work of grace in the heart. And the reception, how it is received, how it is digested, how it is masticated, how it is assimilated, depends upon the renunciation of every sin that the Ruach reveals. That's, y'all, let me tell you something. That's a lot that I said there. Most people are not willing to renounce every sin. And that's why they can give you that stone face or that smiley face, that little smiley face. And you know, they're not ready. They're not ready for the renunciation of every known sin. They're not. And I said just known sin. Forget about unknown. You can forget about that. They're putting too much energy trying to protect the known sins. So they're not going to put a lot of energy in even thinking about unknown sins. Matter of fact, let's don't even bring that into conversation. That's way above. That's way above the pay grade of most people who say they believe in Jesus Christ, Yahuwah, Yahweh, whatever, Ahaya, whatever. It's please. And you know, it's going to be revealed not only in the way that you treat the people that you love, that love you. It's going to be revealed in the people that are your enemies as well. I think there's a way to handle enemies. And you have different levels of enemies, okay? So don't think all enemies are the same, because all enemies are not the same. Just like our faces are different, all your enemies are different. And you need divine wisdom on categorizing what enemies you have and what friends you have. You really do. You really do. That's why the Bible says that Yahweh had a disciple that he loved. It don't mean he didn't love nobody else. That was the only apostle he loved. And the one that he loved the most is the one that lived the longest. And that was John. That was the apostle John. He lived the longest. He wrote the book of Revelation. He was the one who was leaning on the breasts of Yahweh. And he said, is it I that will betray you? Man's advantage of gaining the knowledge of the truth, however great they may be, will prove of him no benefit unless his heart is open to receive truth. Y'all, truth is way more than static information. You really need to be able to discern between a person that just giving you a bunch of information that is factual. Whoa, whoa, listen to me. I'm trying to help you discern. I'm giving you powers to discern. Don't get all googly eyed because a person has some information you are not aware of. Don't. It's not. Because if that information they're giving you is not going to come into your life and change your mind, sanctify your soul, and categorize your thoughts, feelings, and actions, friends and enemies, you don't have truth. I don't care how much information it is, however voluminous it is. No, I'm not daunted by people that know more or less of me. I don't think less of people because they might know something I don't know, and I don't think more of myself because I might know something that's another. That's inconsequential. Because I'm going to tell you something. No matter how much you know or don't know, if you are drowning in the ocean, you're not going to pray for a person that's smarter than you to come save you. You're going to pray for a person that with who can save you to save you. You don't care who they are. So all this is no, it's not that important, y'all. Really. It's what are you doing with the knowledge that you know? I don't care what field of study, vocation, profession, or industry you're in. How is that knowledge sanctifying you? And I'm not just talking about your body. How is it sanctifying your soul, your relationships, your character? How? I remember when I was living in DC, and there was this individual. He was humble, but very prideful. Well, there was an individual that came to work with him. This guy owned a restaurant. The guy was an outstanding cook. Oh, he was an outstanding vegan cook. And he had a catering truck that he used to bring out to the Howard University students. And boy, this brother could cook like crazy. But anyway, I digress because I'm about to get carried away on how good this guy could. But anyway, this guy had a lot of pride, but he was very humble. Not because he could cook so much. It was just his spirit. That's just how he was. He had a lot of pride. But he thought that because he lived in a humble place, that he was humble. He was the antithesis of the place that he lived in. Well, one day a brother came and he said, yeah, and this guy was a hard worker, very hard worker. I mean, this guy was a monster worker and he was a cook. And if you know anything about running a catering truck, you're talking about like farmer hours. That's how this guy was. But anyway, so a guy came and he prided himself on how hard he worked. And it really was showed in the way that he cooked, the way that the food was presented, everything. He took a lot of pride in it. And I was just amazed by the man and his culinary skills. But anyway, so this young man came and he looked kind of shiftless, I must say. But looks are like having a lot of knowledge, y'all. Looks are ephemeral at best. You can't judge stuff just by looking at it. Now, they can be an indicator but you just can't put your whole weight on that. Bear with me. I will tell the story. So this individual came to work with this cook, and this cook prided himself on how much he worked. So they went out yard work. And so he said, he was telling me, and now the cook is telling me this story. And of course, remember, the cook prides himself on how hard a worker he is. He's a monster when it comes to work. But one thing he was not wise about, all work is not the same. Yeah. When you're conditioned for doing a certain kind of work, you're conditioned for that type of work. It's a breaking in process to do other type of work. You're not going to see a painter who is an excellent painter and have a good work ethic at painting. You're not going to be able to see him going out and build a house. No, stop. Just stop. Okay, I don't care how much work ethic you got when it comes to painting. Stop it. So right there, I saw when he was giving me the story, I could see that there was a vacuum in his understanding of work, because he sent the young man out there, and he said he had a shovel. He said he had a shovel, and the young man had a shovel, and the young man would look shiftless. Hey, he looked shiftless. Well, the young man went out there and they started digging. And he said, that when he handed this guy this shovel, he said he never seen anybody wield a shovel like this brother wielded a shovel. He said this guy was doing things with a shovel that he's never seen done before. And now in his mind, he was doing a contest with the young man. He was going to show the young man up how lazy he was, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? The young man dug like 25 feet before the guy could even dig a third of the way. Let's divide it in fourths. The young man then started another row and came back before the guy could get through half through. He dug another row all the way. So you got 20, 40, 60 feet that this guy has dug. And this guy is still on, he haven't dug 10 feet. He haven't dug 10 feet of a row. And this guy's done 3 rows. And he said the guy wasn't even perspiring. He said he almost fell out. And he was embarrassed. You know why he was embarrassed? Not because the guy was faster. The embarrassment was laying dormant in him because of his pride. And you know what? Not one time did he ask the young man, hey, could you show me? How are you digging this fast and effortlessly? And the guy said, oh, well, I used to work for a brick mason. And I did that for years. My father was a brick mason. He never asked the guy, show me how to do that. But I guess after he dug like halfway, he don't even want to know how to dig like that. He's like, I don't care what the secret is. I don't even want to dig like that. That's just crazy how hard. It's like, wow. So he thought he was going to, because the guy was staying with him, and he said, well, if you're going to stay with me, you're going to have to work. And the guy said, okay, no problem, no work. I'll work. And so the young man ended up digging up the whole yard. He said, just take a break, man. He said, this is not for everybody. And the young man dug up the whole yard. Now, remember, they were supposed to be doing that together. Exactly. Exactly, Mariah Israel. We got to be careful, y'all. We got to be careful. Okay. All right. In closing, those who thus yield themselves to Yahuwah, having an honest desire to know and do his will. But watch it, listen to me. Those who yield themselves to Yahuwah, having an honest desire to know and do his will. The truth is revealed as the Ruach of the Most High working for their salvation. See, let me tell you something, and I'm going to close right there. Let me tell you something. Just because the devil comes to you with some pertinent facts don't mean that he gave you pertinent truth. I wish I could say this a lot clearer than what I am. I want to make this as comprehensible as possible. Not that it's incomprehensible, but as plain as possible. Satan will come to you with facts. And a lot of people think facts is truth. Facts are static information that can be manipulated for the destruction of the soul. Those facts are sanctified. Whenever facts are sanctified by the Ruach of the Most High, that's in the life of the believer. That's how you get truth, y'all. But people don't know the difference between truth and facts. That's why most religious conversations are surrounded about pitting facts against facts. That's all it is. It's two devils, sparring. That's all it is. And you could tell when people are not trying to find the truth, because it don't change the life. It don't change the life. It don't change the character. It don't. It's just some sparring. Satan's kingdom is not divided against itself. They spar. Yeah, they'll spar and make it look like it's a tug of war. It's fun and games. Stop. Yeah, bouncing back and forth. That's all it is. Satan's kingdom is not divided against itself. It's doing exactly what it's going to do. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do by Satan himself. So those who have an honest desire to know and do Yahuwah's will, the truth, not the facts, but the truth. People, they have the saying, well, the facts, ma'am, only the facts. Well, if we only looking for facts, we'll never find the truth. Because Yahuwah said, I am the way, the truth. See, the truth is in the life of a believer. The ultimate believer is Yahuwah. He said, I always do the will of my Father. And this is why Yahushua is sanctified above everybody. Relationally, character, power. But see, we're still looking for facts separated from our life. We want to have a lot of head knowledge, but nothing else. That's what, hey, that's what all these denominations are about. That's what these Hebrew Israelite camps are about. And I'm not saying that there are no individuals in these various places that are looking for, hungering and thirsting after righteousness. Which reminds me, we'll have to finish the Beatitude. But this is Prophet 6 signing out. Family prophet to the angel of the church to the Laodiceans who are Israelite. Shalom. My Hebrew name is Ra Wanawabi.